Now, if you're looking for some fabulous creative salads to serve at your next dinner party or a lunch, look no further. Hello, Carolyn, and welcome to my beautiful kitchen. So when we're entertaining, we often feel intimidated serving our guests salads because salads can look so plain.
Boring.
But not my salads. So first of all, cheers and welcome.
Thank
Lovely
you.
Aperol spritz to celebrate our salad demo. Cheers, everyone. So I always like to serve a salad, a main course salad, because we don't have to always do long-winded four-course dishes for our guests. You know, if they're coming around if it's a ladies' lunch or something, they're coming around and you want to serve something healthy, we can use our salads and get away with it. So it depends on what you have in the fridge, and we're going to do my ultimate broccoli salad. Now, you didn't look very excited earlier when I said, Carolyn, I'm showing you my ultimate broccoli salad, but I promise you it is going to blow your hair back.
I have faith.
You do. You've seen me blig up anything before. Now, before we start chopping, and especially if your guests are watching you prep, you do want to look chefy and confident, okay? So I always say when I'm doing a dinner party or a luncheon, when my guests arrive, I do not like to be crying and drinking excessively from the stress.
Yeah.
Okay, so we need to look nice and confident. And one of the things I can show you is if you are chopping, and there's my little board, if you're chopping on a board that is mobile, this is when you do get stressed, because when that's moving around, you are not going to enjoy chopping.
And that's a decent knife.
That is. And if it goes red, stop chopping immediately. Yeah. Okay? So to get that to stop moving, I have got a cute little blue cloth. You can use whatever color you want. And when we put that under our board, it is miraculously stuck to the table.
Genius.
Yeah,
I love
genius.
it already.
Now, we can do our prep the day before. You do not have to do this to camera or when your guests are there, but I like to show you how quick and easy it is. So to assemble a salad, and we're just going to make enough for the both of us, I've got a cute little bowl there. I've rinsed my fresh broccoli, okay? And the quickest way to prepare this is just if we do a bit of a broccoli ricing. Okay. It could go in the food processor. And you've got a Thermomix.
I do.
Yes, so you could throw it in there. So here for the broccoli ricing, go as small as you want, and that probably is enough for the two of us. Now this is obviously ridiculously healthy, okay? And I know that we have guests that might be watching that hate overcooked broccoli. And we were just talking about that earlier, weren't we? Because when broccoli is overcooked, well, it's not as sexy as when it's fresh. So when we just get this ready, I'm just going to chop through there and get it nice and small. And like I said, we're calling this a broccoli rice, okay? And you can have whatever's in your fridge. So this is a great way to hide
Can I use
leftovers.
cauliflower?
You could definitely use cauliflower. The reason I've used the bright green is for a bit of color on the plate.
Yeah, nice.
So whenever I do salads or whenever I plan a meal, as the chefs say, I'm always thinking flavors. So I'm going to show you some really sexy salad dressings to go on this. I'm always planning color and I'm always planning texture.
Nice.
Yes. I hate it when you get a meal and everything is soft and then you feel like you belong in an old age home. Not good. No. We're not there yet. We're way not there.
Way younger than
way too young. So there's our broccoli rice. And then now I've actually got some fennel bulbs. So I've rinsed that fennel bulb. Now fennel bulb is nice and different and chefy, and sometimes your friends and family might not have used a fennel bulb. And then
I think it's still a scary vegetable. Just don't know how to use it.
Yes, even the guy when I went to the supermarket had to ask me what this was to put it through the till. But anyway, I'd say that fennel is like a licorice cabbage.
Okay.
So I either roast this or I will have it raw. I
can already smell
You can
that.
smell,
That's
yes.
so beautiful.
So the one thing you need to consider here with the fennel is that it does tend to go a little bit brown. So you would use either lemon or lime juice if you weren't cooking it straight away or using it straight away. And if you cut it nice and just a fine dice or into a julienne, it's very pleasurable on the palate. But we do not want big chunks because it's quite a bit to bite through.
Strong.
Yeah. So you can also use a purple cabbage or anything like that. And if you want to taste some there.
And it's not an onion, is it? Because
No.
that's what it looks like.
No, it is a little fennel. And
That's very mild. That's fresh.
Yeah, it's nice and fresh. And it just gives that lovely crunch. So you can hear that awesome crunch. So, and if you say, come on over, we're having a fennel and pink lady apple salad, it sounds a bit more expensive. Okay, so if you throw that in there, I do need to get that little apple, which I forgot here in the fridge. So depending on, now I like the apple in here because the apple gives us that beautiful sweetness and also the crunch. And generally, most people would have a little random apple in the fridge, you know, for lunch boxes or whatever it is. So I'm just slicing that down nice and thin. And of course, if we weren't using this straight away, it would also oxidize. So then we would have to dress it with a bit of lemon juice. So I'm just going to chop it up nice and small, and I don't want to show off too much, but nice and small, get it in there.
I am admiring your chopping skills.
Oh, thank you. So, yeah, so it's because I look so chefy because I've got a nice sharp knife and my board's not moving. So you too could look this chefy. All right, and also I'm actually just keeping the tip of the knife down, and I'm actually just using the back of the knife here, which is why I look chefy. So I'm not lifting that tip up at any stage. I just cut at the back of the knife, and that is the most efficient part of the knife. So if you're doing, I always say, if you're doing Zumba, that's not for cooking.
Okay.
All right, that's for exercise, but definitely that's a very efficient way to chop. So what you can also do is add beautiful chunks of feta. You could do a camembert or a brie. Camembert and brie would be really sexy in there. I've got a little bit of a goat's cheese. Now, this part of the fennel, and like I said, this has been rinsed at the cooking school, and generally I whip out micro herbs because us chefs love to use petals and micro herbs to make things look more expensive. But if you can't get a hold of micro herb, fennel is a great micro herb alternative. So you can see those lovely little feathery bits there. Now, when it comes to dressing the salad, you could use a store-bought salad dressing out of there. This is basically going to be a coleslaw, a pimped-up coleslaw. Okay, so you can use either a salad dressing, like I said, or we can use a mayonnaise or a cream. Now, if you were cooking for vegan people or vegetarians, you do get vegan mayo as well. I'm going to use, sorry about those blobby noises, I'm going to put just enough on there to dress it. Sorry about that. And I'm also going to add a little bit of dairy cream. Now, like I said, if you're on diet and you hate fat, by all means, you can use an alternative. But you could also use a fat-free yogurt.
Yes.
Yes, but not a strawberry yogurt.
No.
Just a plain one. Just a plain one.
A Greek yogurt?
A Greek, your favorite. So nice and thick and creamy, but you can get the low-fat or fat-free version.
Perfect.
It's up to you. So we're just really wanting to bind this for the presentation. I've also got a few little purple carrots, which I chopped up earlier, and purple carrots, you can get them quite easily. Apparently, this is what carrot color used to be like, and then they changed it to orange.
Why?
And
the purple is so beautiful.
I know, and it looks very expensive. And I've got these cute, adorable little tiny tomatoes. Now, I know you don't like tomatoes, so I'm not going to put that in there. I know, that was a quick save. And then I've hand cut some beautiful cabbage there. So like I said, this is going to be like a fancy coleslaw. But now to bind it.
And see, now I think your bowl's too small because...
Well, we're only going to make 2 little salads. But yes, I do overfill my bowls a bit.
You do, you're very generous.
I am very generous. Why, thank you. Now, flavor is very important. If I served it to you like that, our beautiful fresh ingredients would carry it off perfectly. But if you put a big old tablespoon, I've got a Dijon mustard there. You could use a grainy mustard or even an English mustard. Throw that in there. I'm also going to grab...
Like a teaspoon or a tablespoon?
As much as you like, really. Because remember, if there was a hot English mustard, we could kill our guests, all right? But the Dijons and the whole grain mustards, they're really tasty, and they add that little signature freshness, a little bit of tartness. I've also got some crushed black pepper, which is going to be nice and fragrant. And then with deft movements, we shall just bind our sexy little ultimate broccoli salad. Now, if you wanted a protein in here, you could add in chicken strips, cold roast chicken, hide it in there, a tin of tuna. You could go prawn meat, lobster meat, anything you wanted, or you could just leave it veggie, but we also could put the cheeses in.
Yeah.
You had a question?
Do we put any salt in? Or do we not need salt?
I might not season, because our mayonnaise and our cream sort of has that little bit, you definitely could salt it though, but I might salt it on the plate.
All right.
All right, so if you have a look there, if you have a look.
So beautiful already.
Yes, and of course bacon bits. Yeah, there are opportunities where we can put a beautiful prosciutto
Probably any
or a bacon bit.
leftover meat.
Yes, so you could go to your fridge and give it a good cleaner. We are now ready to plate this. Now, I always use, you choose a plate, if I can have that black one there. I always say choose a plate that makes you excited, because generally you can serve the same dish on a different plate a few times before your guests know how naughty and cheeky you are being, because a different plate will give the dish a different look.
Yes.
Now, also, if you want, you can put avo diced into here, but I think we've got enough. But you're eating for nutrition, so you can put anything that you want. And this can be your own personal ultimate broccoli salad, and or broccoli, as some people say. That's my little accent. But you can put what you want in there. Now, we are going to put this into a stacking ring.
I thought you were just going to put it on without that, and I'm thinking, oh, a little blob, but no.
Just that we can blob.
We're going
well,
fancy.
no, we can go blob. We can throw that in a bowl. So if you want to get out maybe a sexy little bowl that size, we can do that. But I'm always trying to get a round of applause. So I'm going to stack this in here, and you kind of want, and you see that I have cut these quite small because I planned the whole thing, and I use the stacking ring a lot. And what I have shown in some of my previous episodes is, I know you're all thinking that I'm really chefy and I've got a stacking ring, but you can have one too. Okay, so you could either buy one online, or I showed in my last little episode where you could get a peanut butter jar, or even this jar, and when it's clean and empty, you could take your bread knife and just cut it over there and trim it with scissors. Make your own one, because that plastic is fantastic quality, and at least you're recycling or upcycling. So let's try. Now, we're going to try get as much as we can in here. So I'm going for some height. Now, one thing you must do is a firm press. So don't get too excited and ahead of yourself and do a big reveal, because it is going to collapse. We need stability in our lives. Okay, so I'm violently squishing that down, getting it really to compact nicely. And if you are making the salad in advance, don't dress it in advance, because it will go squidgy overnight in the fridge as we go. So here we go. I'm just, because it's to camera, I'm going to give it one more pressing, and then as I'm bringing it up, I'm feeding it through. Voila. Okay, now that is held together by that salad dressing. We are now going to top it with our gorgeous little bit of shredded cabbage. All right, so I'm going for height. I always say the higher you can get it, the more majestic it looks. I've also got, I'm going to do some of the fennel bulbs. Now, I've got a little bit of the cream extra. If you can just pass me that little bowl and that cute little spoon I got ready. I know that's gorgeous, and we all know that it's going to taste good, but I'm always looking for that round of applause when we bring it to the table. So I'm going to make a matching cream and black pepper drizzle, all right? And literally all I've got is my black peppercorns, more of that mustard, and just some of the dairy cream. Yum. I'm going to stir it together. And this is going to be the difference where your friends will know that you are more chefy than them.
I would never think to use cream as part of my salad dressing, but it sounds so delicious.
Whatever we put on the plate has to become part of the dish, so you can't just put like random things on the side. So I'm just going to test before I do this to camera that is falling off my spoon nice and dramatically, and then we shall pimp up our plate. You see, it looks
the
10.
This is the
chefy swirl, and that will add another $10 to the plate. They will think that you are more chefy. I've also got a balsamic glaze, so again, everything must become part of the dish. And you don't have to go this extravagant. You could just keep it nice and plain and simple. I like to use a beautiful extra virgin olive oil to dress it, because we didn't use oily dressing, so we've got the opportunity now to do that. And then, of course, we can add some of our lovely fennel fronds for even more height. And I'm sure I had some petals here. And I think, voila, that looks glorious.
Cheers
So
to that.
That is just the ultimate broccoli salad.
For a beautiful match.
But look how chefy we look, and your guests don't have to know that it's not only healthy, but easy and very inexpensive.
It's beautiful.
I'll drink to that.
Wonderful.
Cheers.